Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Road Adventures of Cycling Men of Leisure for the last time this year. This year. Welcome, my friend. I am lucky to be joined once again with Mr. Michael Sharp.
You are, in fact, Adam. Being the last show of the year for 2025, I'm wearing my festive Bigfoot Christmas sweater. So,
Very nice, very nice. I'm still in the brag contest mode, and so I had to grab the brag hat.
Okay. That's okay. So, how you been, buddy?
Good. Just wrapping down the end of the year, and government jobs are kind of interesting, aren't they? I mean, a couple of reports and files and things.
I don't know. I soon won't have one. Sorry.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that.
Okay.
But end of the year stuff, and then I usually clean my office and like dissect it and get rid of all kinds of stuff, and so it's kind of good. My boss has
fumigate it.
Yeah, for sure. Are you kidding?
Got that sandwich that you put in there February 3rd and forgot in the bottom drawer.
Hey,
left-hand side bottom drawer.
February 3rd. So, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Getting ready for the festiveness of the holidays, and got all the shopping done, and gifts are wrapped, and we are Sharp family is in the go position at this point.
Go for no go. Oh wait, no way. Sorry.
We are a go.
All right. Did you get my list?
Your list?
Yeah.
Did you send it?
Yeah, stuff to buy me.
I mean, I requested it several times, but I don't recall getting it. Did you send that to the right email?
AOL.
I'll have to double check the spam sections of my email. That's probably where it's at.
I cannot tell a lie. This year I did not send a 42-page list of gifts that I knew you weren't going to buy me. You didn't buy them last year, and then this year you've got a change coming up. So
I got a case of spam. I'll give you some spam. How about that?
Hey, all right. Well, why don't we talk about that? How are you? I mean, people want to know, how's the search coming?
We're still searching. It's the holiday. Well, this is what I tell myself. It's the holidays.
Okay.
So, are people really looking to hire people around the holidays? And a lot of people are out and stuff. So I'm going to chalk that up. But, I've done the resume. I've redone the resume. I've kind of fortified that. I'm taking a couple of extra classes just to up my game a little bit.
Podcasting classes?
No, but we will talk about that in a few minutes, actually.
Good point.
Not that I need them, but I got some recommendations for you.
Ouch.
But, AI is big nowadays. I'm learning a little bit about AI, things like that, just to, so I have a base understanding of what it's all about. But, I'll really, if I'm sitting here next month at this time and, things are not coming in, then I might, freak out a little bit. But right now I'm okay.
Good news. You won't be sitting there in a month.
Where will I be in a month, Adam?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Disney.
That's right.
I sprung for some of the timeshare, and we are heading down to Florida. So.
And seeing how I'd already paid for the ticket and everything, might as well go. I mean, not going to miss out on anything here. And if somebody calls me, I can take a call, do an interview, all that kind of stuff on the road. So that's not a problem. No, it's our annual. I think we can call it annual now because we've been doing it a couple of years. It's our annual Cycling Men of Leisure week in Orlando.
Yeah, we do a little golf, a little podcasting. I actually fly down with a very, very, very heavy backpack with all of the, which I'm still surprised I get through TSA with that. But I mean, it's nothing illegal. It's just really heavy and like it could be a weapon. But all the electronics and microphones and all that good jazz. But we do some podcasting. We bring the cameras. We do YouTube right from the.
We have the full. We set up. We stay in Sarasota. What is it? Saratoga Springs.
Saratoga Springs.
The racing. That's right. And we turn one of the rooms into actually the living room into a studio. That was where last year we had the guy. Oh, I bet the FBI comes knocking on the door. There's the FBI.
That's right.
Who needed to do a visual check for some reason in the room and immediately saw that and turned around and left. And apparently that visual check was over. So
I still wonder, did someone like across the way see the lights and then make a phone call? Because I lived in a hotel and my house was just, I told this before, but okay. I lived in a hotel and my house was destroyed. And they did have a rule that every 2 weeks they had the right to come in the state of Michigan anyways. And that could probably be different depending on where you live, and maybe Vegas is sooner now after the horrible shooting there. I don't know. But all seriousness, every 2 weeks I had to agree to let them come in and see the hotel.
And I get that. That's fine. But housekeeping had already been in the room.
Yeah, I just wonder if somebody made a phone call. They saw the lights on.
Where our room was, there wasn't anybody across.
That's true.
Now, here's what I'm wondering. If when the cleaning lady came in, she just saw all this, boards and lights and cameras and podcasting microphones and stuff set up, and she I don't know what's going on there. And so maybe that's when they wanted to, check it out. I don't know. But anyway, it's a funny story.
Yeah, it's definitely funny, but we'll put a link to that show for sure. Mm-hmm. We'll reshare that if you're curious about that. But yeah, we do some golfing.
What else are we doing?
We're gonna meet up with our good friend Armando.
Oh, excellent. Always good to catch up with Armando.
And I think you were leading to Podfest. So
we're going to Podfest again.
So our platform where we list the podcast and if no one's ever done a podcast, which is, I think everyone has a podcast now. I mean, the lady
I've got one. You've got one. Everybody's got one.
Everyone's got a podcast. So a lot of Saturday Night Live jokes about podcasts, like men don't want to go to the doctor. Hey, listen, why don't you want to go to the doctor? So the podcast platform, but our platform uses they are going to Podfest as a vendor, and they have their own. Our podcast has its own podcast, and it's about how to make your show a little bit better, or things that you could do, marketing strategy, sharing. And so they offered last year free tickets, and so this year we're like, well, if they put free tickets out, we're going to go. So I emailed them earlier in the year, and they're like, whoa, slow down, buddy. We're going to be there, and just watch for the email. But I have it on good authority. You guys will be selected. So I even told you back in the day, I have it on good authority. We're going to be selected. So we waited, and sure enough, the email came out. And wouldn't you know it, a couple of guys that I know are heading back to Podfest.
Podfest. Well, the thing about it is the tickets, are a little pricey, but they've got all different speakers talking about different concepts in podcasting and growing your podcast and monetizing your podcast and, using comedy and storytelling, everything. And then they've got the big vendor area selling everything you could ever want for your podcast. And it's like a 4 or 5 day event. So it's like a major thing. But you have to, obviously, even if they give you tickets, you've got to fly down there and you got your hotel and all that kind of stuff. Well, it just ironically enough is the week that we go to Orlando anyway. So, I mean, it's not even anything that we planned. It just happens to happen at that time. And so we're going to go do that. That's going to be a lot of fun. And I think we're going to spend a little time actually at a Disney park.
Yeah. So for those of you, as Franklin, here goes Franklin. Franklin's going to tease me about being a Disney adult, but that's okay. For those of you who know Michael and I both independently, not together, but independently own timeshares at That'd be kind of weird, wouldn't it?
That would be really weird. My family would be having questions and be very upset. So
Exactly. We both own timeshares at Disney. It's kind of cool. If you don't know about it, you can trade it with other companies and exchange it, so you don't always have to go there. So it's kind of, if you
But-
like timeshares, I mean, that's up to you.
and Disney has other resorts other than just the park
Amusement
resorts
park,
too.
yeah.
They got a couple of beach resorts, one in Vero Beach and one up in North Carolina. So they've got other things too. So
For sure. And what's funny is, as the older I get, the more I use it for like golf and stuff like that. I mean, before I would be like, go to the park, go to the park, go to the park. And now I'm like, I don't have to go to the park.
Oh, you're still that way. You're like the little kid that's like, oh, we're here. Oh.
Oh, my sensor button still works. I love it. So, actually, I was that way for a long time, and then they just
Dude,
changed.
you were like that way last year.
No.
Okay. He was.
No. I mean, I do have an annual pass, but
see.
But no, hopefully, Podfest is kind of cool. Actually, you capitalized on Podfest last year and upgraded your microphone. You got a heck of a deal.
I did get a good deal. Upgraded my microphone, so that was cool. And the other neat thing is that after the Podfest last year, we got mentioned like 3 times by the folks over at Buzzsprout on like 3 different podcasts of theirs. So they followed us a little bit. I'm not going to say they're like listening every week, but they have followed us a little bit. So
yeah, cool. I think,
and we followed them. So it's a great community,
of course, and all kinds of good stuff. So we've got a good trip in January, and I think we're going to get us a sign, and we're going to walk around with a sign that says, "Do you need a business architect?" And just keep every restaurant, every golf course that we go to. And then they're going to be like, what the heck's a business architect?
Better, I should. Like the year that I missed my wife's anniversary. I didn't miss it. I was going on a ride, and I had that sign that said "Happy Anniversary, Chastity," and took pictures with it all throughout the day, and then, did this big photo collage thing for her. But I could hook it on the back of the golf cart. My contact information. Do you need a business architect?
I feel bad. We kind of skipped across something, and my mind is going back to it. We never said how we're going to the parks. The timeshare offers, the DVC, Disney Vacation Club, offers a few times a year you can get in for free. They have what they call Moonlight Magic, which is like parties or whatever. And I waited today, and we were selected. Well, I mean, we happened to get in line fast enough. Everybody who's in line at first, if you're in line at the right place, you're selected. But so that's how we were able to go. And so, they give you a free ice cream bar or something.
Then you get into the park for free.
Yeah.
After it's technically closed to the, the general public. So, you get 3 hours, and obviously the lines are a little shorter, and you get kind of a way to say thank you to those DVC members. So it's kind of cool.
Because for a while there, people were complaining who were DVC members. They'd say, "Oh, we're members, and you keep taking away our rights." And they're like, "Well, what can we do?" Well, let's see here. We will screw everybody else and make them leave early, and then we'll sell the park out again. So,
oh well, there's always going to be somebody who's not happy. So
that's right. But I'm excited. We got a pretty good trip.
We'll have a lot to talk about. We're going to get a lot of podcasting done, and we're going to learn how to do a podcast. So that'll be exciting.
Well, good, because if
after 3 years, we might figure this thing out.
That's right. We have a few. We'll get to that, but we have a few monthly supporters who bring their wallet. And when Michael said he's going to be unemployed, I said, "No, you're not. You got that second job." But remember, I get 50%. And then that's where he said the can of spam. But I tell you what, a lot of people join us for their favorite segment that you, sir, sponsor with your hard work. Ladies and gentlemen, It is now time for Listener Spotlight.
All right. That's right. Everyone's favorite time of the show, Listener Spotlight. Let me, I'll tell you what the clues were, and then you can provide the guesses that we received.
Sure.
All right. Here are the clues. The city is named for a geological formation. It was founded in the 1870s. Canals have been an important part of this city since prior to European visitation. In this city, some indigenous plants are very protected. And this city hosts some big league entertainment if the season is right. So what do we get for guesses?
So you remember the DeBrim, right?
You know, I have nightmares about that thing. I just keep thinking it's going to cease to exist, but it never does. It just haunts me.
I mean, they even sent me this beautiful pen here from the DeBrim company.
Next time I'm at your house, that DeBrim pen is disappearing.
Oh, no, it's a beautiful pen. It's got a stylus on the end of it. It's nice. So anyway, our team members and friends, Keith and Melanie, they also wore the DeBrim. It was, I mean, every time we took a picture of the four of us, you were outnumbered. Anyways, so what he did was...
So basically they had fashionable cyclist, unfashionable. Okay, yeah, I'm good.
Well, we did not have carcinogens and all had the most wonderful, stylish... Okay, it's not stylish, but it definitely helps out with protection. So anyways, Keith said, I've never guessed after all this time of listening to you guys, but I think the spotlight city is Mesa, Arizona. Now, before we go on, I said, well, thank you so much for guessing. And then he said, Melanie said I did it wrong. And I thought first, I'm like, well, you made a guess. How could Melanie say you're wrong? He said, Mesa is a geological formation. Major sport.
He had to put the reasons.
Yes. Major sport is spring training. Do you pronounce this Saguaro, saguaro cactus? Saguaro. Are huge and very protected, and the canals are over 1,000 years old. Hopefully that is all right. I told him, I said, I wish my wife never told me I was wrong. And so I told him, thanks for the guess. So there's one guess, but in true fashion and form, our good friend and teammate, Alex Bell, he says, here's my guess. Tempe, Arizona was named after the Valley of Tempe in Greece, a famous valley founded in 1871. The indigenous Hohokam people built extensive canals before the Europeans arrived. The saguaro cacti and the native plants are protected by the Arizona law. Arizona State University is Division I school and has major athletic events. Now I need to come up with my guess for the 2026 Big Brag route. Stay tuned, Alex.
Yes, you do, Alex. So get that in.
Any of our guesses correct?
Well, the first thing I want to point out is that both of these people guessed towns that are like literally 20 miles from each other. Thought that was interesting. I will say one of them got it right.
Ooh, one of them got it right.
Yes, because our city for Listener Spotlight for this week was, in fact, Mesa, Arizona.
Oh,
sorry, Alex. But I'll give you half points, Alex, because you were only 20 miles away.
Well, I'll tell you what. Hold on.
Okay, guys.
Now, hold on a second. Before you go on, I must say, since Keith has never guessed, at least in document form, maybe like when he's driving in his car or whatever, but he's got 100% percentage.
He does. Now, what I want to know is, it sounds like Melanie's a huge fan and she listens to it all the time because she knew the format to send it in.
Yes.
Why didn't she guess is my question. I think it's a valid question.
I want to know what
you're guessing. No, it is in fact Mesa, Arizona, although Tempe's a very good guess and it's very close. Canals He was spot on all of his stuff. The Hohokam people settled in the area 1,000 years ago, and they obviously desert. They built tons of canals, and some of those sections of the canals are still actually used today. Yep, saguaro cactus, heavily protected. In fact, if you cut one down, I mean, if there's one growing in your backyard and it's like, I don't want that there, and you cut it down, it's actually a felony.
Wow.
Well, I get it. Those cactus only grow in like one area of the United States and one area of Mexico, and that's the only place in the world that these things grow. So when you're watching a Western and you see the big saguaro cactus, like you always, and they're like, yeah, we're here in Texas. No, you're not. Or we're in California. No, you're not. You know, they try to, that's why you never see Italian, spaghetti Westerns with those big cactuses, because they're nowhere close, but digressing. And the city hosts some big league entertainment if the season is right. Yeah. Hohokam Stadium is the Cactus League's home of the A's. So there we have it. Great job.
So Alex was really close with everything you said, but Keith was correct in the guess. So
Alex was only 20 miles off. That's it. That's nothing.
So close.
So close. Missed it by that much.
Well, as always, thank you, listeners from Mesa, Arizona. Thank you all, listeners, but especially this episode, Mesa, Arizona. And that was Listener Spotlight.
And remember, for our fans in Mesa, Arizona, don't cut down any cactus.
Hey, what is the cacti that you told me about that only grows flowers like every 200 years? It's like a little, people had it in their lawn. You told me about it once. I forgot.
I told you about it once?
Yeah. It's like a cacti bush, and it's like ugly for like forever, and then like one time in its life it like blooms or something. Oh well.
That I don't know. So see, there's so much information floating around up here. I got to shove some out to make room for the new stuff, and apparently I let that go. Or not prickly pear, I can tell you that. Nor is it barrel cactus. So mark those two off your list.
Fair enough. Since I have my brag
now,
right across,
I may have talked about a century plant.
Oh, that might be it.
That typically they only bloom in natural environment like once every 100 years.
Let me look at what a century plant looks like real quick. Hold on. I got to cheat here.
You don't have any up in Michigan. I'll tell
you. Are you kidding? They would die.
As does everything else.
Oh, you know what? Okay, that is century plant. That is it. Yes. Now that I'm looking at the picture. So,
yeah.
And it blooms like one time, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. One time that you'll ever see.
I hope. Yeah. Funny story. We'll get to the route guessing here in a second, but I had a vendor working on I have a couple of body cams for my drivers. They call it NEMT transportation, non-emergency medical transport. And it turns out it's cheaper to use public transportation when available than it is an ambulance. It's $750 a ride. But my people have to go into the people's houses and help them. And so for safety, legal department recommended that I get body cams. Anyways, so I got them, testing them, and I had it pointing out the window because why would I want it pointed on me? And I'm on the phone with the guy, and he's like, is that a picture? What do you mean, is that a picture? And I said, was the camera shooting at a picture? And I go, no, it's pointing outside. He's like, you all got lots of snow there. I say, yeah, we do. So I didn't know where he was going. But
welcome to Michigan.
That's right. Anyways, back to the show. Route release contest. You and I and Franklin and Ron, the new domestic director of Bragg, with my Bragg hat on tonight. We had a show introducing him to the listening and watching audience. They obviously use Bragg and Rights and Facebook and announced him. Franklin's still going to be. it's hard to get good help these days. But
I'm still
I should
looking.
answer that. That's the guy who helped me set up my home network. I should hey buddy, I'm recording. But Franklin's still going to be there. He's going to, just kind of be the overseer. And I liked what you said. You're going to be able to ride now. He's like, probably not, but maybe a little bit. But Ron is going to be driving the boots. And in honor of Ron coming on as the domestic director of Big Brag 2026, I would assume, does that also mean that he's going to take care of spring tune-up and all kinds of domestic?
Well, he's the domestic director.
You'd think so, yes.
Unless they move the, spring tune-up to Peru or something, yeah. Ron's going to handle it.
Will that still be a 12-hour drive for us?
Sure.
But anyways, in honor of him, we're having a contest. Lucky for us, this show does come out before the contest. You and I have done things before. We record shows that come after a contest ends, but not this time.
Not this one.
This is the last time you will hear us to be able to guess for the contest. But many of you, and I'm only trying to be helpful here, many of you have taken the time to write Michael and I, but you're only giving us the start town and the end town. And I'd like to make a peace offering. If you want to be considered for the contest for the actual jersey, we need each night, like, hey, it's going to start Saturday and it's going to start in ABC land, and then it's going to go into Sunday, into Monday, in the layover day. So we need to have each night and where we're staying, where it's going to come into. And if you guess the overnight town and the correct night, that's 10 points. If you guess the correct town but not the right night, that's 5 points. If you can show us that you got the layover town and pick Tuesday and Wednesday, that's 20 points. And even more exciting than that, if you can prove to Michael and I that you follow us somewhere, somehow, whether that be YouTube or
in the social media world,
anything.
We prefer the podcast, but we'll take any. Now, I'm going to disagree with you just for a minute. What happens if someone's like me, knows the route without a doubt, doesn't think anybody else is going to come close, and I think I can win it by just guessing the first and the last day?
You can't. That's only 20. I mean, that'd only be 20 points.
But what if I assume nobody else is going to get 20 points? Oh, and then I prove to you that I'm following you on social media. There's 30 points. What if I think I can take it with 30 points? Yeah. Exactly. I think your point is if you really want the best chance, you're going to guess every single night. Saturday night we're here. Sunday night we're here. Monday night we're there. But I'm just saying, if there's somebody out there that just, thinks they've got it.
Well, we are recording, I believe, next week, and then we'll be able to figure out on the... We are lucky enough, once again, last couple of years, many of you have been so supportive and listening to us put out our show with Franklin normally, but this year with a new domestic ride director, Ron Ward, and they released their video at midnight, and then that we're going to put out like a dissection. Sometimes they do trivia, sometimes they give a little. I remember that old dirt farmer that we always talked about. And Brazelton, that's right.
Married up. Now the town's named after him.
That's right.
Well done.
So we are going to record next week to come out on noon on New Year's Day 2026. But this is our last show for 2025. But man, has it been a great year. So
it has. We're still here too. That's the big thing right there.
We did get another guess. A lot of guesses to end in Columbus. I will say that. I mean, it's all over the place. Some are saying starting like east, going backwards. There's one guess from Augusta to Columbus, which I thought was interesting. So, but a lot of good guesses. And you and I, sir, will soon be designing a jersey after the new year.
That's right.
We will. We'll do like a little spot, maybe a 5-minute, segment of, who was close. Maybe we could do like a third, like runner up, and then the actual winner, like who was closest, and then
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll do a whole thing around it. It'll be fun.
Well, you, sir, you have something that you teased it. As people probably guess, you and I get together a little bit ahead of time to do some homework, but you teased it last night. I was thinking about it at work today. I'm so excited. So I hope the leisure community is excited. So you teased that you found something to do with counterfeit bike parts and a little bit of a debacle, and I would like to hear a little bit about it.
Well, yes, I did. Back in my early days, I was trained and was an auctioneer, had an auction company with my father. And as part of that, I also trained to be a certified appraiser, personal property appraiser. And so I had people all the time calling me up about, antique furniture and this and that. Well, one thing that I got a lot of is, I wouldn't say a lot of, but every once in a while, somebody would bring like high-end items. It's like, oh yeah, we want to know about X, Y, and Z. And, a lot of times it was high-end watches. A lot of times it rolled railroad watches like Waldham, railroad watches. I had several times where ladies would call me up about handbags like Louis Vuitton. And I got to the point where I could step in there, I could look at the bag, and in like 2 minutes, I could tell them that it was counterfeit, because there's certain things that like these high-end makers do that counterfeiters don't do, because it's effort. And so you could look at it and it's like, nope, that pattern is not right, and the lining is incorrect or whatever. And you could generally call it out. And of course, that's never a fun conversation, because these ladies probably spent a lot of money on them thinking they were the real thing. So I spent a lot of time doing that. I came across an article the other day about counterfeit, and that's what kind of got me rolling on this. Have you ever thought about counterfeit bicycle parts?
That's what I was thinking about today. And didn't SRAM come out during COVID? And I remember Joe had to get all kinds of parts replaced. I don't think it was counterfeit. I think it was just like the metal breaking down or something, and he was getting bottom bracket and the sprocket and everything replaced for free. Do you remember that?
Yeah, but I think that was just like wear and tear.
Okay,
honestly.
Okay. Yeah. So no, I've never heard of. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, people buy things and they have no idea that it's counterfeit. And I know what you're talking about. Like they used to have the handbag parties. I mean,
you did?
No, not me. But
okay.
I mean, I got enough REI backpacks to last you. I got one with 85 pockets and one with 65 pockets and one with 35 pockets. So, but I thinking, I mean, I'm sure they counterfeit anything, but man, that's just the idea. And I'm going to let you get into it, but the idea of a counterfeit bike part, I mean, this is a device that, a lot of people are really hurt on bicycles. So I'd like it to be a structural sound part.
You would hope.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Like I said, when I started looking at this, it was kind of interesting. And this article just came out in like, I don't know, just like a month ago. And I was trying to find, I had some stuff written down here. Came out just last month, and it was with Specialized. And Specialized had gotten together with the Chinese government. And then what is their Amazon, Ali, whatever? What is it called? Do you know?
And China?
Yeah.
Is that Temu or whatever?
No, it's Ali something or other.
Here,
I'm
I'll
forgetting what it was. AliExpress. That was it. So basically, Chinese law enforcement specialized and AliExpress got together and they wound up seizing $1.6 million worth of counterfeit bicycle parts.
Wow.
I shouldn't say bicycle parts, but bicycle products. This was frames, it was handlebars, wheels, other components, and it wasn't all from Specialized. Specialized is just one of the companies that was pushing for this. And basically, they found about $1.1 million in Specialized fake parts alone.
Wow.
And Pinarello was on there. Trek, some of that stuff was found to be counterfeit. Some SRAM components, Shimano, all this kind of stuff. And that got me. I mean, I never really thought about it. And so I think I just wanted to make sure that everybody understands that there are companies out there that are making illegal parts that are branded Shimano, SRAM, Trek, probably every high-end bike company you could imagine. And this is the frames down to brake pads, the different components, wheels, tires, everything. That there's just companies out there that are slapping other companies on there and then selling them at a discount. And so I wanted people just to really kind of think about that it's not just high-end handbags or expensive watches. I mean, of course, bicycles get really expensive, as we both know, but it happens there. So if you're out and you're looking at eBay and it's like, wow, those components are super cheap, you might want to think twice, because it's not like they're taking, Specialized high-end or Shimano high-end components and they're putting their own name on them. They're building a component with, not as good of metals and that kind of stuff, and they're not probably calibrated as good. So there's a higher chance of failure, accidents, things like that you need to watch out for. So, which gets us back to how we always preach. It's like, well, you should support your local bicycle shops. It's a prime example, because if you go in and they're a Trek dealer or a Specialized dealer, you can feel comfortable that you're getting real Specialized parts and that type of thing. Another thing that I read an article on is they actually counterfeit bicycle frames to the point where they pull off real, like they research and they find real, numbers.
Wow, like serial numbers
for the bike frame.
Yeah.
So you're getting a bike frame that has actually a real number, but it's a fake real number.
Wow.
So
one of my employees just bought a camera from a very reputable site, a site that I purchased from many a times.
Mhm.
Got it in. Noticed that the box looked a little bit different. Didn't think anything of it. Thought maybe the company changed the box from this brand, and then kept looking at the manual and found it very odd that the English in the manual of a major camera brand was like 7th down, and then decided to call his credit card and say, I'm going to be working with the company, but I feel like I bought something counterfeit. And it turns out that the credit card had it recorded that many of the same camera brand had been counterfeited. And it was just, I just couldn't believe it. And this is a website I've shopped at many times. And so, by the way, the website definitely was very helpful, apologetic, returned the money, did not have any problems, but, they just have a supply chain line, I guess, supply line or whatever you say, supply chain that sends out the package, and they like logistics, they never actually touch the package.
Mhm.
But very interesting. I just thought I would share that with you since you're sharing about counterfeit bike parts.
And there's a difference between counterfeit and knockoff. And you can get, cheap everything out there. You can get cheap components and all this kind of stuff that aren't branded. I mean, that's not counterfeit if it doesn't have a brand on it. It's just some company makes them. They're not trying to tell you that they're made by Shimano or SRAM or anything. They're just, what they are. They're not counterfeit or anything like that. But basically, your two basic kinds are you have counterfeit and you have knockoff. Counterfeit are the ones that are trying to get you, the manufacturers are trying to get you to believe, yes, this is Trek. We got Trek's name on it, or we got SRAM's name. So basically, they're taking a trademarked logo and slapping it on a product that they're producing. But then you also have knockoffs, which when I was doing a lot of the Louis Vuitton stuff, most of those were like knockoffs where they would, the logo wouldn't be exactly right. So nobody could get them for counterfeiting. They were just doing a knockoff bag of Louis Vuitton. Maybe the material that's got the Louis Vuitton logo on it was a different color than what it should be. And the logo was slightly, smaller, or, they do different things. So it's like, well, I'm not technically counterfeiting. It's just a knockoff, which is different. But this big sting that they had with the Chinese government stuff, this was on counterfeit items, companies producing things, putting legit companies' names on it and out there selling it as if Trek or SRAM had made this product. So just be careful.
Trench coat. He's got a big
What's
trench
that?
coat. I said there's a guy with a big trench coat, and he opens it up and he's like, "Yeah, you need a sprocket."
Hey, I got sprockets here. Hey, come on down to my van bound by the river. I've got some really nice handlebar tape.
I've got a menu.
Oh, completely different story. We won't get into that one. But
Yeah.
so, if you're out there perusing around, just be careful. I mean, a lot of people don't care if it's not the name brand. But certainly if I'm buying a name brand product, I want it to be name brand, because then I have some assurances that, these people are actually making this out of real material and they just didn't, there's some really crappy, tin in there and it's going to fall apart when I'm going.
Well, I appreciate you sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to close out 2025 with some interesting things to tell you.
Uh-oh.
This is the top 10 cycling men of leisure moments of 2025.
Oh, dear.
Number 10. And this is in the style of David Letterman. Brrr. Number 10. Still calling it a leisure ride and somehow ending up with questionable decisions, missing turns, and at least one moment of, this got serious real fast.
Yes, that's happened more than once this last year. Definitely the questionable decisions.
Absolutely. The Georgia route guessing contest. Sometimes you and I speak about Georgia, and our listeners know Georgia roads way better than you and I do.
Oh, yeah.
And are not afraid to call us out when we get something wrong. So
that's happened once or twice. Absolutely.
The Cycling Men of Leisure jersey reveal. This is not for the contest. What I mean is when we do the jersey reveal for when we go
for the team.
Yeah, for the team. Mm-hmm. Proof that cyclists will absolutely ride harder in a jersey they earned, and yes, style counts even at a leisurely pace. So.
Oh, absolutely. Got to look good being leisurely.
Bourbon wisdom segments, where cycling advice turns into life advice, relationship advice, occasionally terrible advice, not approved by USA Cycling. So,
I don't know if we've given out really any terrible. Never mind. Let's just leave it at that.
The ongoing war against just one more mile. A phrase that never meant just one more mile.
Just one more mile is shut up before go one more mile before you ask me that question again.
When the mic gets hot after the ride, the most dangerous recording window. Post-ride, slightly dehydrated, overly confident, and absolutely honest.
That is true. That is the best time to get the true honesty about the ride.
Guests who accidentally became part of the Cycling Men of Leisure family. You thought they were just stopping by? Now they're reoccurring characters, inside jokes included, such as the menu that we just mentioned. So, or lots of people who now are regular members of the show. So I figured that was kind of funny. So
Armando
is
Franklin.
a regular. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Connie. This is the
Connie.
official Armando segment. So,
That's right.
Realizing we're not getting faster, just better stories. PRs are temporary, stories last forever, and the coffee stops are undefeated. And if it's not coffee, I'll say Coke for you, sir. Coca-Cola.
I appreciate it.
Yep. We celebrated episode 75 this year, or close enough. That counts. Let's try this too, such as you and I say, hey, let's try this podcast. Do people actually listen to this on purpose? Still wild to me. So I thought that was kind of good.
Yeah, there's questionable, decisions made by some people, but yeah.
Proving cycling doesn't have to be serious to be meaningful. No podiums, no pressure, just good roads, good people, and a reason to ride again tomorrow. If you're fast, slow, young, or old, they're just here for the coffee and conversations. Welcome to Cycling Men of Leisure. So anyways,
very nice.
I used AI in your class. I joined your class, and so I figured I would use AI for our show. So
very nice. Yes. Nice little wrap up there. We've had a good year.
Yeah, for sure.
Fantastic year. Had some great rides, met some great people, and we're still going strong. So that's cool. And we always want to let our listeners know and our supporters know that we appreciate them. They are what helps us get this done, because without them, we're just two guys who get together every other week and sit across from each other virtually and talk about whatever. So they give this whole thing meaning, and we definitely appreciate that.
Absolutely. All kidding aside, I was going to be a smart, but pretty soon, I mean, we might get together more. You won't be working now. We can have put out shows weekly. No, just kidding. Scratch that. So, no, we talked about it. I mean, just to be clear, we've talked about more content, but I think with the quality that we like to put out and not too much in your face, we think that bi-weekly shows are good with some special things here and there. But I do have a question for you before we get to your favorite segment.
All right. What is your question?
What does Emery Norris, Alex Bell, Kip Othord, Ryan Ronek, Joe Grammer, Dennis Keeler, and Scott Garwick all have in common?
Okay, I know this one. These are all people who have opened up their refrigerators, looked in, closed them, and then reopened them with the hopes that there would be something different in there.
This is true. I know this is true. You're absolutely right. That's probably really is true. I'm going to say these are active supporters who are bringing a monthly amount to the Cycling Men of Leisure in our show, which, all seriousness, does help kick the can down the road for 2026 and will allow us to keep doing this. So I really, especially without your current situation. So if you're thinking about being a listener supporter, now might be a good time. But we thank you all. If you do not have the ability to bring your wallet, that's okay. Believe it or not, the reviews, whether it's a 5-star, 10-star, 100-star, whatever podcast platform you listen to, can't tell you how much those help. And just thank you for all you that are doing that as well. So,
you know what I should do?
What's that?
Middle of next month, I should go out my front yard on a lawn chair, set my equipment up, and podcast out there. I'm just panhandling.
Put a little sign out there.
Right next to the driveway.
Yeah.
Podcaster, unemployed, needs a job.
Good luck with that neighbor of yours.
Yeah.
Is that go-kart still outside still?
I actually took care of the go-kart. Somebody called the law on him, and he got the little note from the city. It was not me. I'm not going to say I don't know who it is because another neighbor in the neighborhood came over one day and chit-chatted me about it. And so I knew that this was going to happen. And my neighbor probably thinks it was me, but it wasn't me.
And these how these things go, right? I mean, all kidding aside, I know I've been a little bit of a slacker not coming to Kansas with our cycling trips and stuff, but I mean, I was there for 3 trips,
mm-hmm.
and that over a couple of years, and that little go-kart sat in the side of the house and rusting away. So, and that's how these things happen. I mean, you live in a neighborhood, and you and your wife are lucky enough to. Well, currently, I hope you're still lucky enough to keep it.
If not, I'll be broadcasting from my mother's basement or something, you know. So.
Right. That's right. You do live in a nice neighborhood, so and that's what happens. I mean, neighbors get tired of seeing that junk out there. I mean, people spend a lot of time, energy, and landscaping. And look at me. I'm no landscaper, but I mean, I try to do my best, So, and then you got the one guy who's like. It's like, come on, man. I mean, get with the picture. Everybody else has painting and they're trimming and they're, whatever. And then you're like, yeah, I got a bunch of junk out there. And so, hopefully he starts to get the picture. But if not, give him some.
He's now been officially warned by the city. So,
oh boy.
I mean, if I was going to turn him in, I'd have turned him in a long time ago because for years I've been on the zoning commission, the planning board zoning commission, and also the zoning appeals board over the course of the last, I don't know, probably 12 years. So I know all the codes and everything like that. And the list on his property is like really long, but I just want to get along with my neighbors. I don't want to be the guy that's like, your fence is not to regulation or what. It's like, no, I'm not going to be. That's why I've never called the police on them. They might think I have, but I know in my heart I've never mentioned it. But if other people come and they want to call the police, they're their own individuals. So
I believe that. You and I've talked about it many times. So, I do have one. You and I ended last show with a little football talk. So this is not a sports podcast, but throughout
sports is leisure, though.
It is leisure.
But we talk cycling. Cycling's a sport.
That's true.
There you go.
I don't claim to be America's best football broadcaster, but you said you've polished up the resume a little bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've polished it up, making it look nice.
And do you have anything on there about being a coach of football? Because I'm looking for one.
I see where you're going with this. I could put down my coaching career with children's softball and t-ball, coach pitch, and I went to the University of Nebraska, sat through many games, and they were national champions when I was there. But I've been many a game to Texas A&M University. And they have the whole concept of the 12th man. It's just ingrained in their thing that it's all this story, which may or may not be true. Back in the old days, one of their players got taken out. They didn't have enough people to play the game. So they went and pulled somebody out of the stands to fill that position so that they could finish the game. If that's not quite right, I apologize as a Texas A&M fan. Something like that. It's been a long time. So their concept is
complaints.
Yeah, I know. What is it? Hashtag Michael's wrong. Yeah.
Michael's wrong.
Yeah. So they have the whole concept of 12th man. Everybody in the field is the 12th man, And so I've got that. I could really build that up on my resume that I was sitting on the bench ready to go in at Texas A&M at any given moment on numerous games.
Well, that's good. How do you feel about coaching a top 5 collegiate sports university?
I would love to. Now, most collegiate top 5 universities aren't going to consider me to coach, but I would love to do it. Yeah. Because it's not about coaching. It's about management. I can manage. It's about management, resource allocation, putting the right people in the right place. You got your defensive coordinator. You've got your, offensive coordinator. You got your special teams. You're just the coach. You just make all them work. It's business architecture. Make all them work together. as efficiently as possible.
I don't disagree with you.
You know, I'm going to start I can make this work, actually, the more I talk about it.
Do you have a clean record? Because we had the picture gate where we stole pictures and signs, but don't take away my national title T-shirt. And then and now we got this guy who's, every time I turn on the news, there's something more and more, and no pun intended, more and more and more. I didn't mean that actually, but I mean this is crazy. And then now the news said that, oh yeah, the wife is supporting him. Oh yeah, she's supporting him right now until we figure out where he's going to go and where he's going to go. So
is she going to have easy access to his money when he's in prison and all that kind of thing? So for those of you who don't know, we're talking about the University of Michigan, and their coaches have went through several issues over the courses of the last few seasons here. And I think I could do it. Yeah, I think I could do it. The only problem is, would they let me live in Florida and fly up to do the coaching, because it's too cold in Michigan? And could I coach from a box? Do I have to be down on the sidelines in the middle of snow and stuff? Can I just coach from up from the box? Why do I need to be on the field?
So you are very aware that my office is right next to the airport, and the booster, University of Michigan booster plane, does fly in and out sometimes of the airport. So I think you could get away with the Florida thing and come in for the games, but I don't think they're going to let you go in the box. I think you're going to have to be down in the field if you take the job.
But why?
Well, because you got to be on the sidelines. But
why? See, you're thinking traditional. I'm talking a whole new way of coaching football.
You're not getting the University of Michigan.
No. We win. It doesn't matter. We don't care if he's on the field, is on the box. I could even turn it into telecommuting, supporting the football. I just sit at home like this and go, nope, guys, no. Hey, come on, special teams. We've talked about this. And they could just put me up on the big jumbo cam during practice. Yeah. And I could just be there like this big head up there saying, do it again. Rerun that route again. That would be hilarious.
Behind the curtain.
Just Michael's big head up there shouting it. Do it again. No, good job. We need to do that on Saturday.
When Harbaugh got his, NCAA fines and punishment for having to skip games, that's what we said. He's in a hotel somewhere going, no, get them in there. Get them in there.
Because, the coach doesn't,
we just
players got to be there. Coach doesn't, as long as, the plays are going in and somebody's keeping an eye on the defense and special teams.
We just need someone who's clean and cut and can beat Ohio State. I mean, if you can do that.
That's me.
There we go.
Now, maybe I make sure the wrong plays are called when you're playing Nebraska. But other than that, I can beat Ohio.
You know what? The world doesn't hate Nebraska.
That's true.
Your guy.
Well, they are named after a worthless nut. So
I was going to say.
We love Ohio. We love the University of Ohio. We're joking.
I was going to say.
We're joking, Adam. We're joking.
Yes, it's joking. What is that voice in the sky? We're joking.
Look on the big screen. It's me shouting plays.
For those of you who do not know, I have many, 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 many family members direct family members who live in Ohio, and we love teasing and ribbing each other. So
none of them like him, but that's okay. That's besides the point.
On their contact list, it says Adam from Michigan. I'm like, well, how many Adams do you know? so
you got to make sure they brand you.
That's right. Oh gosh, here he comes. Like, especially when they win, they're like, oh god, they block me all day long. So, well, I just figured last show we talked a little bit about football, and then of course, the minute we did, I thought, well, there's your resume, buddy. 13 million. You just gotta be clean and cut, and you
gotta do that. My record's clean. I've got no, I made some questionable decisions. Obviously, we've talked about that this year, but nothing that lands me in jail.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, that's
I
good.
mean, I went for that bike ride that one day and came up with a broken clavicle. That was a horrible decision on my part,
But was it? Did you put the hose out? Okay, anyways. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I know that I speak for Michael when I say before we do this last listener spotlight, thank you to our leisure community for a wonderful year. Appreciate everything that you guys do and write us and participate in the show and our shenanigans. And so we both say thank you. So
absolutely.
ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the last time in 2025, a listener spotlight.
All right. This listener spotlight's clues are as follows. The area where this city is located began as a couple of failed land development ventures. The local development prompted residents in the area, local development meaning outside the area, prompted the local residents to incorporate this area as a city. Historically, this area has been plagued by landslides. Adam, if you play golf there, you might want to wear a PFD. That's a personal flotation device. And the city has seen its share of lethal weapons. And there we have it.
If I golf there, I might want to wear a PFD, which says it's right on the ocean, maybe, right? Maybe the whole course
Ocean,
is
lake, river, something, body of water. There's a couple of big clues in the stuff that I just said that could at least get you to a general area, certainly a state, but to a general area.
Perfect. Well, why don't we leave it at that? It's not St. Louis, so that's good.
It is not St. Louis.
Maybe 2026 will be the year of St. Louis. Who knows?
I'm torn with St. Louis though. I so want to do it because I'm pretty sure I could pull it off that you would know it's St. Louis. But then I feel bad as your friend to go, man, he knows St. Louis, and if I pulled this off, which I know I can, but if I did pull it off, well, then I'd feel bad that I made you look like the fool. I don't want to do that.
I've gotten it correct a couple times.
Have you really? Or did you just take somebody else's guess and go, yeah, I think it's that one?
I have immediately after recording.
Oh, that one time. Yeah, you're right. I stand corrected. That one time I had some movie reference or something or music reference, and you immediately, oh, it was the Elton John.
Oh yeah, Rocket Man. Yeah.
And what Space City or something,
Alabama or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep. And then and I said, I know it, and you go, you do not. I go, I do. As soon as we hit done, and we hit done, and we were, because for anyone who doesn't know, when we hit stop recording, it's like being on Zoom. You can still be on the same thing. And I said, boom, boom, done. And you go, well, we'll have to see in a couple of weeks.
I never tell him if he guesses. I don't. Even when he says, oh, we got a guess or whatever, and he reads it, I don't let on if it's right or wrong, because I want it to be completely 100%. It's not that I don't trust him, but I just, like the natural response of him finding out on air.
Well, I do like it. And, there's a couple of employees who listen to the show, and they're always like, did he ever tell you? I'm like, he doesn't. So
I'm not trying to be mean. I just like the natural, your natural response to what the guess is. So
that's perfect. Well, let me, I know that you and I are going to get together one more time before the end of the year, but I will wish you on the show of Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Thank you.
Thank you for a wonderful year. I appreciate everything, sir.
And same to you. Pass along to your family my holiday wishes to them. And I look forward to another successful podcasting year coming up. We've got a lot of ideas that we've been floating around, and we're going to make some of those happen this next year. So looking forward to it. And I thank you for allowing me to come along on this ride.
Absolutely, because not here in Michigan, but somewhere, somehow, it's a great day
For a bike ride.